Demand for the usage of XRP has absolutely exploded in the first quarter of 2022. Ripple just recently put out some stats about their on-demand liquidity system that shows XRP has absolutely exploded over the past year. So why hasn't the price moved along with it? Well, I have some explanations in this video. Also, I have an update on Quarium. And if you remember Quarium, it is the new layer 1 blockchain, the 3rd generation blockchain that is being airdropped to Sologenic token holders. And if you remember Sologenic tokens, well, they were airdropped to XRP holders back in December and January. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what Quarium just announced, what exchange they just got listed on, and some of the price action that is now starting to happen to Quarium and what we can expect for the rest of the year. They have some very big things in the works, so I'm going to tell you what's going on. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. Right now on this channel, we are covering the Ripple versus the SEC case, but I'm also covering cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all these topics interest you, go ahead and subscribe to the Late Night Grind community. I really appreciate it. Also, if you would, please do 3 things. Smash the thumbs up button, watch this video to the end, and check out my Patreon, link in the description below. All right, guys, let's jump into it. All right, so first I want to talk about the Quarium information that was just released. I just saw an update in which they released their latest airdrop. Now, if you're not familiar with Quarium, it's a new layer 1 blockchain. Their tokens are being airdropped to Sologenic token holders every single month for the rest of this year and even beyond. So what they do is they take a snapshot every month, see how much Solo tokens you hold, and then give you corresponding core tokens. Well, right now there's starting to be some price action because you can exchange or sell your core tokens if you want to on the Sologenic DEX, the decentralized exchange. But just recently they announced that there is a top 20 exchange that listed core tokens and is now starting to sell. And in fact, I saw on Twitter there was some crazy price action that made people ask, what in the world's going on? So right now you can exchange Quarium for XRP on the Sologenic DEX. However, this new global exchange, MEX Global, M-E-X-C Global, recently listed Quarium, and you could now go trade that for USDT on that exchange. Well, someone posted some screenshots of some crazy price action that happened because right before that, it was trading for about 50 cents or so. It was starting to ramp up, and at one point had actually spiked from $10 to $14 to, for a very brief minute, it was trading for $30 per core token. Now, somebody said, well, it was probably a fat finger order. It wasn't meant to be that large, but who really knows? In any case, it came back down to normal. It's trading at about 76 cents per core token. Now, some of the speculation that this year, once Quarium launches their mainnet layer 1 blockchain interoperable with everything, that those tokens are going to be trading for $10 or greater by the time that gets there. Well, their mainnet launch is supposed to be set for August or September of this year. There's a lot of new developments coming into the works. I will actually post a link in the description to some of those updates on Quarium if you're interested in that project. It is definitely one of my picks for 2022 as one to keep an eye on. And just in case you are a Sologenic holder getting these airdrops, the snapshot amount was 0.0362 core tokens for every Solo token. So if you have 1,000 Solo tokens, you'll be receiving approximately 36.2 core tokens. That seems to be what the airdrop ratio has been the last couple of months and will likely remain the same for the rest of the year. All right, so now let's move on to what Ripple has just talked about and the explosion for demand for XRP. Now, if you're an XRP holder and you've watched these videos and a lot of other channels that cover XRP, it's massive use case. Of course, you got cross-border payments, remittance services, extremely fast settlement times, extremely cheap fees. In fact, the Sologenic NFT marketplace doesn't even charge any gas fees because it runs on the XRP ledger. And so this, in part, is why XRP, or demand for XRP, has been exploding. So Ripple just released a report in which they gave some of their statistics on the usage of their on-demand liquidity system. This is basically a network where banks and remittance services from all over the world can use XRP to transfer value, tons and tons of value, tons of money, for extremely cheap fees and do it extremely quickly. It's a much better alternative to Swift and a much better alternative than pretty much every other cryptocurrency out there. So Ripple announced that in Q1 of 2022 of this year, that the results, the usage, the transaction volume of XRP on their on-demand liquidity system was 8x year over year. That means 800% more usage of XRP in Q1 of 2022 than it was in Q1 of 2021. Now, this goes to show how much Ripple is actually doing on the international scene, how much they're doing on foreign territories. It looks like almost every week they're signing up huge remittance corridors. all over the world, and they're partnering with different payment companies all over the world, such as Tranglo. And so as these numbers continue to grow, there's just more and more demand for XRP. Okay, so why doesn't that correlate to XRP price growth? Well, there's a couple of things involved. Number one, there's so much XRP out there right now. There's so much XRP still in escrow. There's so much XRP being transacted constantly that there is actually a surplus. There's a large volume of XRP out there. And so the scarcity factor hasn't come into play yet for pricing. Now, if you follow like something like Bitcoin, for example, scarcity is a big reason for its growth. People FOMOing in and realizing that in 10 years, it's most likely going to be worth a lot more than it is now. Well, something with XRP, it will get there eventually. It's just not there yet, simply because of the the sheer amount of XRP that's out there. But it's the usage. This kind of usage, companies like Ripple that are creating networks of banks and cross-border payment companies, remittance companies that are going to be continuing to drive demand for XRP years into the future. And once we get to a point where scarcity hits, that is going to be one of the biggest drivers of price increase or value for XRP. So what's the other one? Well, there's this other little organization known as the SEC, and they have a massive lawsuit against Ripple. Now, it's not a lawsuit against XRP, although they brought into question XRP as a security or not. Obviously, we all know it is not. However, what that's done is prevent the United States institutional money from staying away from XRP. Now, globally, obviously, we can see from the on-demand liquidity usage, it's growing exponentially. But in the United States, which represents trillions of dollars of usage, it can't be used because institutions and banks, they're going to stay away from this simply because of the lawsuit against Ripple and bringing into question is XRP a security, while a major bank or institution probably wouldn't want to jump into it if that is a question where something could later mess up all of their plans. Now, as we know, this lawsuit against Ripple has been a huge price suppression medium, which it was designed to do against XRP. Now, of course, you put that conspiracy theory hat on. Well, we all know what's going on behind the scenes with William Hinman and giving the Ethereum free pass speech, along with many other things, in order to keep something like Ethereum taking that market share value from XRP. So when this case ends, and it will end, and Ripple will win, in my opinion, or there will be a settlement, XRP is going to get its clarity. That, along with the continued demand for XRP that is going to grow exponentially over the next couple of years, is absolutely going to drive huge price growth. Now, of course, some of it correlates to the rest of the cryptocurrency world, what Bitcoin is doing. Is Bitcoin booming at the time? Is it in a bit of a consolidation market like it is right now? Some of those other factors have to come into play. But the demand for XRP, my opinion, is only going to grow exponentially. Now, is someone going to flip a switch and instantly make XRP worth hundreds of dollars like people like to talk about on Twitter? No, probably not. If you want to follow along with this or any of the stories that I cover on this channel, make sure you subscribe to the Late Night Grind community. And I do appreciate you watching all the way to the end of this video, for smashing that thumbs up button. Also, there is an important link that I want you to read. It was from my previous video in which I laid out Gary Gensler's essentially blueprint for taking over the cryptocurrency world. It's a press release you might want to take a look at. I'll link that in the description below as well. Also, you can find my Twitter profile down below if you want to continue to have a conversation with me there. You can find my account there and follow me there. I talk about a lot of these topics on Twitter as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.